So this is my first time using Zoom, and I realized after the Zoom, after I recorded it, that everybody face cameras wasn't in the picture. So I can see them, but y'all can't see them, but y'all can still hear their voice. So, you know, um, hopefully y'all can still enjoy it. So yeah, stay tuned.
Casso did this.
Banker 3K TV, back. I got a banker video for you today.
I'm cheap this way. Everything Windows and Androids. That's it.
Hey, Ken, his little icon gonna be.
Oh man,
Bro, you're retarded, bro.
Hey, any of y'all wish TJ happy birthday yesterday?
Who is TJ?
Who is that?
Who that is, man?
Ty Greenfield.
Who is that?
hey, bro, edit that one out. No one can relate. Oh god.
I really know what I'm talking about.
Is that our old roommate?
Yeah.
I ain't got that nigga on no social media.
Nah, I really don't know.
Media? I don't think so. I've probably seen his birthday. You wish him a happy birthday? Yes, you did. That's your best friend.
Hey, bro,
That's that guilty.
Don't set him up like that, bro.
I wish him a little happy birthday.
I
wish him happy birthday.
It's an invitation to brother.
And I honestly don't know him. I'm just being real. He wasn't my roommate.
Yeah, bitch.
Oh man.
Y'all ready?
Go right ahead, brother.
Like, yes.
All right, man. This finna be so weird, bro.
This is about to be terrible. I'm letting you know right now, fam.
Oh man.
Got past the Kevin.
Every question, swear to God.
All right. Welcome back to 3K TV. Welcome back to another video, another podcast, another talk. Today, I got some special guests. These like my big brothers, almost. You know what I'm saying? One of them is my blood.
Almost.
One of them is my blood brother. Can I talk? But anyways, one of them is my blood brother. But you know, we all associate ourselves as brothers and stuff like that. I know Kevin for years, Cam for years, Willie for years, and Terrence a couple years. So yeah, introduce yourself. It doesn't matter who go first.
Kevin, I told you, bro. Nah. No, the big brother should go first. Go ahead, Cam. You know what's up.
What type of introduction am I supposed to have?
Who you are, stuff.
I feel like I've been on a video before.
I mean, they don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, everybody,
say?
it's Ty Dolla $ign coming at you live from the basement.
Couple different names. It would be Ty Dolla $ign, P&B. Who else?
Waka,
That's
Waka.
probably about it right now. Waka. Nah.
Bro, when I was at the store, somebody told me I look like YNW Melly.
Nah, you look like that one nigga though.
Ellie.
Who? Travis Scott?
Nope. The dude that I always said that you look like, Lil Tech.
Oh, Lil Tecca. Yeah, I get that too. Lil Tecca, Young Thug. I got Young Thug before. I don't know why. Yeah, weird. And Travis Scott. All right, who introducing themselves next?
I don't even know what introduction we're supposed to have, but
Right.
I'm Willie.
Yeah.
Friend of the host. I'm here to probably talk shit, make jokes, and have fun.
He liked to wear overalls.
I don't.
Terrence, you looking at shook up, bro.
Yeah, go.
He's our resident Miami Heat expert.
Miami Heat expert. I am not a Miami Heat expert. Just a good fan. While we on the subject of basketball, why don't we throw it to our resident LeBron stan, Pastor Kevin?
Pastor Kevin, yeah.
Oh, funny, man. What up, y'all? It's Kev, Brian fan, GOAT, all that good talk. And now I'm going to pass it over to First Take with Stephen A. Smith.
A resident.
I got to show them the hairline
Detroit
too.
Pistons fan.
Terrence A. That Terrence A. Y'all see why I got the hat on. Y'all see why I keep the hat on now, right? But yeah, I'm Terrence, man. Oldest person of this group. All these fellas I went to Saginaw Valley for college with. They all actually finished. I'm actually the college dropout, the disappointment. So I got I have some college education. But but these are my brothers for life. Sports. First sport, basketball. Played a little bit in high school. I think I mentioned I'm from Pontiac, Michigan, 29. I'm just here to have a good talk with my homies, little bro, and just speak a little bit and see what's going on today. Just put in my insight on some things.
Yes, sir.
He's also our resident Pistons expert, diehard fan, no matter how much they suck. Also Lions expert as well.
Amen to that. Oh yeah, diehard. Just diehard home team fan in general, bro. Ride or die, it don't even matter.
Real
Yell at the TV, but never give up.
Amen to that.
Why are you a Detroit Pistons and Detroit Lions fan so bad, bro?
What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I said, why are you such a diehard fan of Detroit and Detroit?
Yeah, man. I'm like, bro, home is where the heart is, bro. It ain't nothing special to it. I'm just very generic and just straight to the point in that way. And nothing extra. Just like why not be? You can't be a hometown fan. You can't represent your hometown. Why would I represent anybody else?
At the end of the day, you don't really need an excuse to represent your hometown team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just in your blood naturally. It is what it is.
I don't know about all that, but
Got a heartache. You just waiting to happen every year.
But yeah, everybody know who I like to go for, sports. I got the Ravens.
His teams be switching up every year.
No, it don't. Wherever Jimmy Butler goes, I go. But at first I
thought it was wherever Derrick Rose went, you went.
Yeah, that too.
And wherever Melo went, you went.
That too. I really had like 3 teams at once because Melo was on the Knicks, Eric Rose, and then was still on the Bulls. So it was really the Knicks and the Bulls so far.
My man's was confused.
Nah. And then when Derrick Rose left and went to the Knicks, I was like, dang, I gotta become a Knick in the Bulls.
Really have to be a Knicks fan right now? Nah, I would have let you have the slide, bro.
No, I'm not a Knicks fan right now, though. No.
They got a little bit of promise right now. They got more promise than the Pistons.
Who that?
It's strictly Heat. It's strictly Heat right now.
Strictly Heat.
Yeah. Because of Jimmy Butler.
You barely said it with a straight face.
Jimmy Butler, bro.
He's like strictly Heat.
I'm not really a Jimmy Butler fan. I'm not.
Jimmy
like,
Butler. Yeah, you know.
Good. He cool. Don't get me wrong. He's straight. I like his attitude, but he ain't that. I don't know. He ain't my type of player. I guess I don't know.
Like his attitude,
bro. He said,
"Who is your type of player?"
He said he's not a Jimmy Butler fan, but he got the Jimmy Butler cut though. I don't understand.
Exactly.
Somebody help me make that make sense.
What you mean?
He said that's how he be rocking his hair. Sort of.
All you gotta do is grow your mustache.
Same, like I guess shape, but hair the same. No, his look matted and put together. Mine don't look like that.
It kind of.
It's the same.
No,
it's the same gesture.
Mine look good.
Oh man.
So Cam, this was one of the like topics that I wanted to hear your point of view from, and that was the Nike incident with the whole like dude like buying all them shoes and trying to get his like what was it his like reselling the shoes or something.
So he already had a reselling business already. Like that wasn't necessarily the problem. The problem that really came into question was when they found out that he was buying shoes with his mom's credit card, and she was the VP and like GM of Nike in North America. So,
right.
Yeah, so his mom definitely held a super high position in the company, and you see her son buying up all these shoes with her credit card and then reselling them for triple, quadruple, whatever the price. This nigga was making bank. He really got caught up because he ended up like doing this Business Weekly interview, and that's really where everything like blew up. They kind of like found out some of the identities of some of the people and traced them back to Nike, and that's when everything blew up. So it's just kind of trash. To reselling in the sneaker culture, I guess in general, is kind of like a stain. Don't nobody really like it, but I mean, people do it because they can.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really like you don't expect somebody working there to be profiting off of it, even though you could say that he's the only one profiting. But if he's making millions of dollars doing that, him and his mom ain't eating off that too, or he's in turn eating off his mom. The money that she's making from Nike, he's using to go buy Nike shoes on the back end and then resell them again. That's kind of some shady stuff. So that's eventually why she ended up stepping down, because it just posed a conflict of interest. Nike said she didn't do nothing wrong, but it's definitely one of those conflict of interest things.
Yeah, because when I first heard about it, at first I was one of those people who was like, I mean, like, I didn't really, have a problem with it. But when I looked into like what all went down and how he did it, I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of bold how he did that, stuff like that. Because I didn't know that he was like, I thought he was just like, just buying some shoes and stuff like that. I didn't know he was just doing all that, you know what I'm saying? Basically like buying and stuff like that. So I was just like, when I looked into like, like the reviews and stuff like that when I was watching Tony D2 Wild and stuff like that. And he was going into all like the, you know, just the problem of the story. I was just like, dang, that's cold. Like,
Yeah.
sheesh. Like, man. So do you think the way the Nike and sneaker app, do you think they're gonna like change the way how we gonna like buy shoes from them now?
No, because I feel like the sneakers app is actually the hardest one to actually bot on. The ones that's really the easiest is like the foot site, so like Foot Locker, Champs, Foot Action. So it will really be their thing as far as like controlling the bots with them, which I highly doubt it's gonna happen because they websites are trash.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think it's gonna affect anything at all, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like some companies will try to step up like their bot protection stuff, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is just one of those privileged issues. Like, really, to be a big reseller like he is, you have to have money to put in the first place. You can't be somebody that ain't got no money and be investing in buying all these shoes because it's gonna take a lot of that to flip back to actually make a profit.
Right.
So you pretty much got to buy up all the market for a specific shoe because then you kind of control the price on that shoe. It's kind of
Right.
like the whole supply demand thing. So if you got a lot of pairs of one shoe and it's only a couple other people that got those, then you really control the market for them. I
Right.
don't think it's really going to change anything as far as that.
What you were saying, Willie? Oh, I'll be right back.
I was able to get all these shoes at one time.
Yeah.
Connections. I mean, look, you got to think his mom was the VP and GM of Nike North America. So he was buying shoes for retail with his mom's credit card. He had resources. So it's like he probably had, I wouldn't be surprised if he had like a distribution list and like, oh yeah, this is my mom, blah, 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 blah. I'll throw you a couple other bucks on the back end, blah, blah, blah. Let me use this. Let me get this. You pretty much just buy up all the stock from the store.
I actually didn't see him using her credit card though. That's the part I'm trying to figure out. Like, you got to see they hit your account unless she that rich. She just didn't care.
No, she knew.
Oh,
She
she
knew.
knew?
Yeah, she knew, and she told Nike that he had a business. Like the whole business and everything was disclosed to Nike. That's what kind of make it a little like y'all
Suspect.
niggas knew. Yeah, like y'all niggas knew that this was going on, and y'all said that it wasn't like a conflict of interest then, or she didn't break any rules. But it's like, okay, now what was her reasoning for stepping down then? Just because it's a bad look?
Basically.
Probably.
And to me, why would Nike care if somebody buying up all their shoes? Don't like money to them.
Exactly. That's the whole problem with reselling in the first place is that Nike don't care if all the shoes get bought up. They don't care. That's just gonna make niggas want to buy the next ones.
More
Even
shoes,
by,
right?
even by one person though?
Huh?
Even by one person though?
They don't care.
I
They
a
got
sale
their
is
money.
A sale. A sale
Right.
is a sale.
They got their money.
Like how at like Walmart, like people like with ammos right now, like our ammos are going out like crazy and stuff like that because
Yeah.
it's cheaper there. And like I had a customer yesterday that was like, "There's no limit." It's like, like
Y'all ain't
literally,
got no limit?
huh?
Y'all ain't got no limit?
No.
Hmm.
Like it's been I think it was like a couple days ago or a week ago, something like that. This dude really bought like 5 boxes of ammo. He's like, I just take all of it. And I was just like, okay. And the manager was just like, give it to him. I was just like, all right.
He just bought all the ammo and stuff.
Yeah, cause that right now at the gun store, they really don't have no ammo either. So
And they have theirs limited a lot of times. I
Yeah.
know the gun stores around here, you can only buy so many of certain types.
yeah,
But they still fly off the shelf.
yeah. And they
Still
definitely
flies off.
didn't get it offline either. So
Right.
yeah. Our stuff, our ammos be going out like crazy. Yeah. How often do y'all get on like the Nike app and look at what they have
Never.
all the time.
all the time?
Not often. Not often for me, bro. Like I personally, like I get a new pair of shoes once every honestly around usually around August, around the time that everyone goes back to school, because that's usually when the best sales are. So that's when I take advantage of it. But even though this year I actually went back, I went and got a pair of shoes for my birthday, which was just a couple weeks ago, which I never done. I always usually just wait until August. But no, rarely I get shoes like that just once a year, just one pair a year, and that's it.
Okay.
I was just on the Nike app yesterday, actually. I don't remember what I was looking at, but I was on there though. Sometimes I just get on there and favorite stuff that I might like, that I might buy later,
Mhm.
just to kind of like hold it in like my little profile section or whatever. How often do I actually buy stuff from the Nike app? That's a little bit different. A lot of times, my actual Nike like apparel and stuff, I usually get it from the Nike store. So either Bertrand or Great Lakes. I actually haven't got anything from the Detroit store because I think that's a full price store. The clearance store in Great Lakes be going crazy. So
Yeah,
some good
I'm
prices
curious
up in there.
about when did they actually change that, bro, to the clearance store? How long has that been like that? I was like, I just noticed that literally
Under a
last week.
year. Under
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
year
say
because it
that's
was a
not that's
factory store at first.
exactly. I'm like, it couldn't have been like that long.
Yeah, I actually got this hoodie from there. That boy was $20.
Oh, sweet.
I spilled something on it though, so
That's
we're
kind
gonna
of
keep it right now.
It's a bib now.
Yeah, the last time I was on the Nike app was actually when I bought my nah, never mind. Yeah, when the time when I was looking at some running shoes, stuff like that, but I actually like bought them off Goat. So yeah. But
Yeah.
I still don't know why you use those as running shoes, but it's neither here nor there. I
What
feel
you
like
buy?
there's better running shoes. Some
uh
Nike Tailwinds.
yeah.
Then you could
Man, more,
definitely went the Vapor Max route, like the Nike Free route, something like that. But
Yeah.
more often than not, for me, at the end of the day, if I know somebody's like if Christmas or something is coming up or a holiday or whatever, or somebody's birthday, I just go into the store and rather than just actually look at the app, I just like to see what's actually right in front of me. I can't really judge anything by just the picture itself. Made that mistake before. That will not happen again. so yeah, I just rather be right in the store.
So you ready to go? So you ready to go inside the store?
okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
more
to do
old school.
both. I like to
Yeah, I'm
like.
more old school with it, bro.
I like to see what's online first, and then sometimes I be like, if I don't see nothing online that I like, then I might go into the store and see what I can get. That's on like either on clearance or just something to like look at that's gonna catch my attention and stuff like that. Uh, um, yeah, I haven't. When I first started working, I was buying like Jordans like crazy, but now I'm just chilling because right now
What
I'm just
J's you got?
um
What J's you been buying?
I when I bought them when I bought the fours,
Nigga got some mids.
yeah, them ones, and what else did I buy? I think those just the only two Jordans, but I bought some Air Forces. Then Cam gave me those Nike Cortezes. Uh, yeah. Other than that, the Jordans that I had before, I mean, they still wearable. You know what I'm saying? Like my other fours that I have, they're still wearable. Uh, yeah. As I got older, I don't really like beat up my shoes like that no more. I used to though. Cam used to get on me about that. But
Man, I have never personally bought a pair of Jordans. I have a pair of Jordans. Remember I showed y'all a pair of Jordans a few years ago? Y'all said it was like trainers or some shit.
I thought you was one of those dudes.
My brother-in-law gave me
like,
for Christmas. It was like blue and black, and it had like little spikes on the side of it. It looked kind of like gothy. I don't even know, bro. Huh?
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, man, I might have to go upstairs and bring them down for you for the one time. Just
Right.
You the water dog.
I literally wore them twice, bro. They just been sitting in the closet ever since. Swear to God.
Dude, I would have worn them twice too. Brother-in-law would've been like, "You got them shoes?" Yeah, bro. They just be chilling.
Never actually like bought my own pair of Jordans. No, so just one pair has been given to me, and I didn't even ask for them.
Buy a pair of Jordans, like a good pair of Jordans.
Yeah,
Damn,
man.
a good pair.
What's up? What you got?
Yeah, like will you ever buy a good pair of Jordans?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm looking
The
at
thing
some.
the thing right now though is the good pairs you can never just go buy.
True.
It's always such a stupid ass process that you have to go through to
Yeah,
even get shoes nowadays. That's kind of what's like stupid for me. Like
yeah.
obviously I love my Jordans and shit, but I'm not about to do a whole bunch of extra shit to get a pair of shoes. Like that's
Right.
Exactly. So many other
And I'm
ones
not
out there.
finna pay that crazy high resale price that they be having online and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be looking on Go, I'd be like, never mind. I'm cool.
And I just personally feel some type of way of a third of the population all having the same type of the same fucking shoes. Like everybody done went through all this for the same shoe, bro. And I was just all about who can sport it and wear it the best. I'm like, all right, I'll be cool with that. I'll get something else.
Because if I got it and my outfit better than yours, then who really won?
That's what I'm saying. I don't need to go through all that. It ain't that serious to me. I'll get another pair of shoes. something more low profile.
Then so I get my J's, rock me some Jabos, good to go.
With the tall tee, like I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to kill him with this one.
Hey, I seen y'all remember BT Spring Fling?
Yeah.
I don't think I was born.
You might be a little too young for that, Trey.
Ha! You was born, you just young.
Man, they had Soldier Boy out there with them long shorts, tall tee. I was like, man, them was the days.
There's people that still dress like that in 2021.
I remember I was in the 8th grade and I had a shirt that was an extra large. I don't even wear an extra large now.
Crazy thing, me too. You know, I for sure don't wear extra large.
Man,
that went down to her ankles.
Crazy deal.
My mom used to have me out here looking crazy, talking about the girl too.
Especially with the winter coats, bro.
I don't even think I had a winter coat in high school.
Coats.
Our parents did they used to have y'all wear like all y'all shit, just regular casual clothes? They just have y'all like wear all y'all shit tucked in, bro. like all your shirt. Bro.
Your mom made you tuck your shirt in?
Tuck in everything. No, my fault. Not tuck in, but like wear everything, like all your pants and stuff, like over your waistline, like above your fucking waist.
That's crazier than being tucked in, to be honest.
Bro, yeah. Like no, that's how I grew up. Then I had the whole I had the suspender phase and everything, fam.
Yeah,
like that shit.
Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, I never told y'all that one. I'm keeping some stories in my bag.
Nigga, what you?
I don't think I ever had suspenders.
Bro,
you was wearing suspenders to school.
I was on them Steve. I was on that only with the church stuff, not my regular outfits. That would just be like the belt.
Nah, I still can't go to church with suspenders on, bro.
I definitely had to. I was definitely in my younger days. I definitely had the Steve Urkel phase, but I didn't wear glasses then. I didn't start wearing glasses till like after high school. Wow. So that would have been really bad.
It's crazy.
What you think made your eyesight go downhill?
Probably, if anything. Probably just poor diet at the end of the day, honestly, because I just have perfect sight.
Poor diet,
poor health, bro.
That nigga ain't been eating carrots.
Right, exactly.
Too much.
Bro, I used to eat it before. They said they make you big and strong, and then I realized I stopped growing. I stopped growing in 7th grade. I'm like, nah, I'm eating what I want.
Nigga was like, they lied.
Like what? 5'2"? Yeah, you're done growing. It's like, all right,
Mm.
eat whatever the hell I want to eat now. Stupid. Ain't no way. No
Yeah,
way.
I was probably shorter than that when I was in middle school, high school. I ain't shoot up till I hit like what, probably like the summer going into 10th grade, something like that. Yeah, I was short, bro. I was short as heck.
You did get tall like over a couple of years. You still short though.
Yeah. I'm still growing.
I honestly thought you would have been taller. I ain't gonna even lie.
Notice he used the phrase, he said he didn't shoot up into 10th grade.
I thought I would be taller too, though. I ain't going to cap.
Man.
Like, I'm like, dang.
I think we was gonna be tall when we was little.
Yeah, I think everybody thought that.
Everybody, especially me. Especially me.
Niggas
Terrible when
realize
you
they
get your
reached their
mom's
peak
height.
early as fuck.
Yeah, it's terrible when you get your mom's height, and then your dad is basically like a foot taller. Like that's tough on the dude, man. That's tough on the dude's psyche for sure.
Me and Terrence gonna have short people syndrome. We're gonna be hella mean to people.
Who is?
Since the last time I saw you, Trey.
No, he's still the same height.
Yeah, I told you, like 5'6".
Probably like 5. Yeah. You 5 what?
5'7".
No, you're not, because Willie taller than you.
No, you're not. We the same height.
I got
What did I tell you?
I'm 5'7".
Yeah, the last
you
time.
Like 5'5", Trey.
Oh, bro. I am not 5'5", bro.
Nigga got the Jacques syndrome. I'm tall. Nigga.
So, next question. How far y'all think the next can go?
What?
How far y'all think the next can go? How y'all liking the Nets right now?
They look good so far.
Like they straight. They just
one more rim protector.
Like a complete team, basically.
One more defender, and they's good. They need to get Andre Drummond, bro. That's all they need.
I don't think they need Andre Drummond.
Drummond isn't a defender.
He is a defender. He is a rim protector.
I think he could probably focus more on it in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's all he needs to be.
Like in the Pistons. In the Pistons, they wanted that nigga to be a scorer.
Yeah, that was the problem. And all he really needed was, because he never was going to develop that post game. All he needed was just a little better defense. Skip all that. Having them shoot threes, doinking it off the backboard. He was doing that
on his own.
Man, I don't know, bro.
That was
a personal decision.
Is KD playing 4?
Is who the 4? KD?
He was.
I think he's actually playing the 3.
No, KD be the 3.
Yeah, that's why Blake is over there. He was saying
Tucker.
like, that's why Blake was saying they needed a 4.
What?
PJ Tucker's not even over there. He slid that one in there.
I think sometimes they be having Jeff Green at the 4, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
sometimes KD do play the 4 though. Like on they little small ball lineup, they put KD at the 4 and Jeff Green at the 5. It's kind of weird, but it should be working. So,
yeah.
To me, I liked the Brooklyn before, KD and Kyrie went there, but
D'Angelo Russell.
But now, when D'Angelo Russell was there, it's like, because everybody was hating on D'Angelo Russell, and I feel like he did get some shine and on the Lakers, but they really ain't give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? But when he went to the Nets, that's when he really blew up. I was like, dang, bro, that dude cold. And then Spencer Dinwiddie went crazy because he was dirt on the Pistons.
Shit.
He was dirt on the Pistons. And I don't know. I don't know. It was something about Spencer Dinwiddie that I liked about, when he was on the Pistons camp. I was like, that dude trash. It's like, okay, he go be good. He went to the Nets. He started going crazy. So I was like,
that ain't what happened.
What happened? You did tell me he was trash.
Yeah, I did say that because he was. But
He would just get better when
nah,
they leave the Pistons.
nah, he went to the Grand Rapids Drive. Like he went to the D League or G League, and that's when he really started balling.
Oh, he went to the G
Um,
League? I didn't know he went to the G League. I
he
thought he
wasn't
was.
even really getting no tick on the Pistons, and then he started
Right,
balling with the
that's true.
Drive, and then they pulled him back up, and he started playing better, and then they traded him.
Yeah,
Uh,
Pistons
So
do not develop their players,
yeah,
bro.
they're horrible.
That's why you see every player that leaves just go crazy. Because they never had an opportunity. And that's why they're finally getting rid of everybody now. They're just
yeah,
not doing it.
that one dude from the Pistons, he's going crazy on the Nets. What's his name?
Talking about the shooter.
Brown. Is that his last
Yeah,
name?
Bruce
Oh,
Brown. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely playing better. And he was already showing highlights of stuff when he was with the Pistons. I
stop the cat.
always said he was a dog defender,
Stop
and
the cat.
he's definitely showing his
That
defensive
yes,
prowess.
but he was
Definitely
already
showing.
doing that in Detroit, though. The thing
Yeah,
is that he's looking like he's playing better. Is he really playing better?
or
Yeah.
maybe the team just making him look better.
Kyrie Irving.
I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the fact that he's surrounded by Kyrie, James Harden, and KD, he like if you really look at a lot of his shots, it's literally like putback shit or him getting
Yeah,
buckets like bunnies right up under the rim. If he's missing those, he don't deserve to be in the league.
What do you
that's
think
true.
Joe Harris is shooting amazing?
Huh?
I said, why do you think Joe Harris is shooting amazing? Like all
I mean,
that.
Joe Harris had been shooting amazing though. That's
Yeah.
the crazy part.
Oh, yeah,
That
But
nigga,
now he getting them second chance buckets and
Not
stuff
even
too.
second chance. He
hey,
getting
that nigga is going crazy this year though.
3
50%
offensive
from
juggernauts
three.
on the court.
Why wasn't he in the shoot?
Why wasn't he in the
shootout?
3-point? Yeah,
Yeah,
Didn't he win like last year? I
yeah.
swore he
So I
won
wonder why he
last
didn't
year.
come back to
Oh, he
defend his
probably
part.
won.
bro. This whole
Probably won.
All Star was just a complete like what the heck, like
The
Also,
3-point shootout was kind of straight though. Everybody pretty much did good
yeah. But
except
I'm
for
talking
Jaylen
about the
Brown.
dunk contest though, like.
Yeah,
I watched
Maybe I guess it's like during the pandemic, everybody ain't want to like be in the All Star. I guess I don't know because I thought they would have brought Zach LaVine back.
He already said that he wasn't doing it no
yeah,
more.
he's
Him
never
and Aaron
doing that
Gordon.
again.
Okay.
I don't see why Zion wasn't in it
Yeah.
When they gonna hurt us.
or John Morant.
Or
Or did the NBA just not invite their stars to the dunk contest or something? I said, does the NBA just not invite stars to the dunk contest?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't think a lot of stars are really interested in doing it no more. Like, you
'Cause of the
don't get a lot
judging?
of people like in star status that are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do the dunk contest.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I'll be wondering, like, do players volunteer for that, or do it as like a committee select them? Like, I never quite figured that part out for the dunk
Well,
contest.
I don't know. I always wonder, like, for the dunk contest and the 3-point shootout, I would think that you would at least have to have some type of like qualifying stats, maybe. But I think they said that old dude on the Pacers, I think they said he only got a couple dunks this year. So you would think you would need to get like a certain threshold, and then they could like choose from those players.
Yeah, they
Because I
say he
really
had
feel
like
like,
15 or something. Yep.
yeah, I feel like they really should have like a threshold, how many dunks in a season, and then kind of like gauge it off of like fan interest.
Yeah, I don't know, something. Our fault. That was Toppin that had 15 dunks. I forgot that. Oh yeah, that other dude was in the single digits. I forgot what they
Now,
said.
Toppin is somebody that I could see people want, like, if they had to vote for rookies, I could see him being somebody they wanted to be in the dunk contest, like fans
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah, I'm
And
telling
he
you, I
was
think
dunking a lot in college.
like I was talking to you about the other day, bro. I was telling you, I feel like it should just be a thing, like how they do the freshman little sophomore, like little rising stars thing. I feel like that's what they should do with the dunk contest. Just have like players maybe like first year through third year. Some people that really don't have that much exposure and we don't really know about, and that's how they get their jump of stardom in the league. I feel like they should start doing it that way.
Did they have the Rising Stars or the U.S.
Yeah,
versus
they
the
had
World
it.
game this year?
No, they didn't do that this year.
Oh, they didn't.
Nah, they blocked that one out. They just did. All they did was they just did everything in one day. They started with the skills challenge, then the 3-point, then the All-Star game, and then the halftime show was the dunk contest for the All-Star game. They did everything in one. Did y'all like how that format was though?
Do y'all like it like that?
I don't mind it. I feel
Yeah.
like it can make. I feel like it can make for a way more entertaining weekend instead of having shit on like different days. But just with everything going on, I feel like it wasn't really a good environment for all that shit to really have enough attention. Like,
Yeah.
only so many fans was up in there. I was gonna limit the amount of hype was gonna be up in there. So I mean, I could see players that probably wanted to do the dunk contest being like, "Nah, 'cause ain't nobody really gonna be here."
Yeah.
They usually have more than 3 people too, right?
Yeah, it's always 6. They do it's 2 rounds, it's 6 people, and then the second round it's only the last 2 people, I think. It's either 2 or 3, but it's definitely only 2 rounds.
Right.
Yeah, I did notice that too. They had like 3. I was like,
Yeah, it was only 3 people. I think they only cut it down to 3 just because of just because they put everything all in one, and they wanted to be that extra 10 or 15 minutes that it would take.
yeah.
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 Did we answer your question fully about the Nets? I
Oh,
feel like
but
we was kind of all over the place with that one.
I think the Nets are the best team in the East.
Yeah, for sure.
I would definitely say so.
Do y'all feel like if when the Lakers get AD back, which is gonna be like around playoff time, do y'all think the Nets have what it takes to like win the whole thing and beat the Lakers?
Yeah, I think they
Let's
do.
ask Kevin.
Will
Let's ask
they?
Kevin.
That's
He's a
I don't
LeBron
know.
fan. Let's ask Kevin.
That's definitely a kid.
He said, yeah.
Oh. We ain't gonna
I
go
feel
more
like they
into
do.
that.
I feel like it's crazy. I think it's funny how everybody trying to be this 36-year-old player. Like, one is kind of crazy, but I do feel like Brooklyn has the better team, to be honest. But I don't know. I feel like AD, even if he come back, I think the chemistry going to be kind of weird. You know, getting him back in the offense where you have Harold and everybody else stepping up. But I don't know. I feel like the Lakers got better, but they got worse at the same time. Like, I would have kept Dwight Howard. I would have kept JaVale McGee over Marc Gasol, because Marc Gasol, he's passing, but I'm like, you already got Bron and you got Schroeder as your passing people. Like, you don't really need Marc Gasol averaging, 4 points and 5 assists. Like, we need some defense. We need somebody that actually can play in the post better and younger or can move.
Right. Yeah, because he do be looking like
He's slow.
he just in there just to play. Like,
his defense trash now.
Yeah.
He don't be backing down nobody no more. Like, bro.
It's crazy though. He played in Memphis is like totally different now. He played in Toronto and with the Lakers. Like, he just kind of washed up.
Yeah.
When he first got to Toronto, he was straight though. It was really like the last 3 years that you really seen a decline. And I think he had got a couple of injuries that kind of like slowed
Was
him
he
down.
with them
He was
when
never
he
really
moved?
the most mobile. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
He been with them for 3 years.
I think so.
With who?
Marc Gasol with the Raptors.
I thought he had only been with them the last year.
No, it was 3. Because remember, he went over there with Kawhi, then he was there another. So it was either 2 or 3.
He went over with Kawhi.
Or was he already
Well,
there
I
the
think
year
he
before?
was there before Kawhi was there.
Yeah, that's what would make it.
Because
either
I
2
think it
years.
was the swap between him and Valanciunas, because Valanciunas is on Memphis.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it was a trade, wasn't it?
And Valanciunas wasn't there when they won.
Yeah,
Right.
it wasn't.
Yep.
Dang, that's
And Jonas
wow.
Valanciunas hasn't done anything since, except when that dude dunked on him and he threw him to the floor, which was hilarious, by the way.
Valanciunas is low key actually putting up decent numbers, low key.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he go crazy to us?
Oh, that's for sure.
With John Morant?
Hmm?
Did he go crazy like a few days ago with John Morant? I think he had like 29 points or something like that. I think
Willie has said something.
Oh, I was saying, when it just like to go back to the Lakers. I feel like if both teams were completely healthy in the finals, I feel like it would literally come down to probably like either game 6 or 7. And I feel like the Lakers will win only because they've been a team longer. But that's really only it. And I feel like they got better defensive options. Like when it
Yeah,
comes to the playoffs and everything slow down, I don't know. It's like a toss up because the amount of offense that the Nets got, they could just run and throw the ball from side to side and somebody gonna be open. But with the Lakers, I feel like they got a better all around defensive team and an all around better, I guess, better team in general.
But with me, I think the Nets can really like
Hmm.
confuse the Lakers defense, to be honest.
Mhm.
Like the way they offensive power is, bro. I feel like the Nets can like they wouldn't like exactly shut out the Lakers, but I feel like the Lakers is going to struggle a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I
I
wouldn't
feel.
necessarily.
Oh,
You can go.
yeah. I feel like everybody like the whole focus of the Lakers is LeBron, and I feel like yeah, even though he's putting up these numbers, he's still 36 years old. Like I feel like you can't expect him to be like this alpha male in the team. But I do feel like the Nets, even though their defense aren't that good, they can put up 120 every night if they really wanted to. Whereas the Lakers, sometimes they shooters be kind of hit or miss. Like Wesley Matthews, some games he'd be hot, some games he won't. And then you have what Kuzma, who Flint time, but he kind of streaky too. So it's like you can't guarantee Lakers can put up 120 every game against Brooklyn, even if they had the shots. That's
Right.
wrong. But I mean, obviously, I'm rooting for them. If they win, I'm gonna put my jersey on. But if they, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
I just
feel
want to
that.
get to the finals.
I feel that because the way even with AD, even when he's in the lineup consistently, his offense be very suspect sometimes. His defense is always great, but his offense, I'll be like, sometimes like how, bro?
Especially,
I be like, it don't make no
especially if
sense to
the
me
Lakers
sometimes.
have a game where they all just playing terrible.
Like when they first went to the bubble, they was playing awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How y'all think the finals gonna be this year? Like, you think they gonna have it in the bubble again, or
Hold on. I got a question. So who all think that AD is a number one option?
Hold on.
On
I
the
want to go
team,
back to the other question about the Nets and the Lakers in the final. Well, the Lakers chemistry. What Kevin was saying at first. Um, I don't necessarily feel like the chemistry would necessarily be impacted because I feel like they'd be able to integrate him in slowly since the team is at least able to maintain a little bit. So I feel like it wouldn't be a whole lot of pressure on them, at least depending on who like the eighth seed. Well, what's the Lakers standing right now? Like third?
fifth? Let me see.
Depending on the standings, I feel like they may not have to be too worried like going into the playoffs as far as performance wise. Health wise, I still think yes, because I really think he's on that KD trajectory with that injury that he got. I really think it's the same exact thing, and that's why they're being super cautious with it. So more than anything, I'll really be worried about AD getting out there, possibly re-injuring himself, versus like the chemistry. Because if he come back and he's healthy, I feel like they'd be straight. But if he come back and he's not necessarily 100% healthy, I feel like that's definitely something that they should be worried about. And I don't know. I don't know if the Lakers defense is necessarily going to like clamp the Brooklyn people up because Kyrie got history of cooking niggas in the playoffs and KD got history of cooking niggas in the playoffs. James Harden, the only one that's a little suspect, man. He's the distributor right now. So
he don't got nothing to worry about.
so I mean, he might have that problem all figured out. I feel like the Nets' biggest, huh?
Kyrie might take another personal hiatus. You never know.
Oh, you
True,
dirty.
true.
You are dirty.
he might right before the playoffs start. He'd be like,
This ain't even important right now. It fades out.
I feel like the Nets defense is it can be better. I feel like they could probably maintain in the East with it because I feel like just certain niggas just not gonna like beat them at their own game. Like the Bucks are a good team, but at the same time they're kind of ass. Like the Bucks are supposed to be getting better and they keep getting a number one record every year, but are they really better than the other teams in the conference? They don't seem like it.
Definitely not this year. No chemistry.
And then the 76ers, I feel like they just kind of end up having an injury bug at the worst possible times.
That's true.
And they just had certain people not necessarily playing to their strengths. The fact that they was really trying to force Ben Simmons to shoot was kind of some funny shit. Instead of making sure that he got his layup and like in the paint game down, they should have just focused on that shit. Just like, nigga, get a hook shot with both hands, bank that shit, layups, dunking on niggas. Just let him be full out point guard, just shit like that. But yeah, I definitely think that barring some crazy shit, I think that the Nets are gonna come out the East. Another thing, the Raptors fucking suck. So I don't know what's up with them. They fell off super crazy. I didn't even realize that. So the other day, they got the same record as the Hawks.
Damn.
They got the same record as the Hawks.
Real funny in general, honestly.
Man, I know Lowry has been kind of injured, so I don't know if that got something to do with it. I don't know how long he's been injured, but
and I never believed in Siakam. I never did.
Man, Kawhi went there, had that nigga looking nice. Nigga was like, he's the next coming.
Exactly.
Boy, ass. They calling him Spicy P. They gave this nigga a nickname and he trash.
His spin layup.
Anybody with the nickname P is just garbage. Pandemic P, Spicy P, all of them, bro.
Hey.
Yeah, you just need to call Paul George PG.
I'm sorry,
That's
George.
when he was good.
Literally.
That's when it was really good.
George Paul.
But what was your question after that, Willie?
I was saying, like, do y'all feel that AD is a true like number one on the team?
No, I don't.
Not the Lakers, just in general.
No, I don't.
I don't
Scoring wise, no, not at all. I feel like he's a really, really good number two, like really strong. However, he just have too many games where he don't impact the game that he's supposed to, the way he's supposed to on the offensive end.
Right.
Like when you're a true number one option, yeah, you might have off games, but there are games when AD literally just does not take shots. That's not number one option. So.
Do you see what Embiid is doing this year? Finally, when he's in shape, that's what AD is supposed to be doing every day, every game. Now we're finally seeing Embiid truly for the first time this year.
I feel like that was a coaching thing.
Yeah.
With Embiid or AD?
Yeah.
Embiid.
Yeah.
I feel like the Sixers' whole philosophy before Doc Rivers got there was just weird. I don't know. I feel like they was trying to like share the ball too much in certain instances. It's like, Joel Embiid is your best offensive player. Give that nigga the ball.
Exactly.
And let the rest of the offense fall in line with that. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, AD. It's funny though because I feel like LeBron is like publicly saying he's the leader of the team. To like to be the leader of the team, but he still I feel like he's not consistently trying to be the leader of the team. Like he probably the defensive leader of the team, saying play defense, but like you said, like in the playoffs, some games he's just not aggressive or he's not trying to do anything. It's like you gotta keep going. You gotta keep doing something because LeBron's too old to be kind of leading his team, even though he's still the number one option.
Right, and I feel like that can be true. Like I feel like AD can be that like second option, but technically be the leader on the team because he's the best on defense, and he's a really good number two. That could make him the leader. So I mean,
I just don't think he wants that responsibility, bro.
I don't think he does either.
Yeah,
but
right.
I don't know.
I think the Lakers gonna be screwed in 2 years though.
Why you say that?
Because I feel like any team LeBron goes to, they always make the playoffs, so they never get a great draft pick.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they ain't got no draft picks.
But I'm saying in general, I feel like they always like teams he goes to, they give up everything to get him on a team. So whenever he leaves, it's a rebuild. You think about Miami when he left. You think about
not really. They don't give up everything.
Miami is a little bit of a bad
give up everything to get LeBron
example because they rebounded pretty quickly. Cleveland has yet to rebound either time. Miami has.
True that.
That's fair.
One thing I say about like LeBron teams is like when you go to a new team, he went because he had cap space. Like they give up everything to get support for LeBron. Like they gave up everything for AD, literally.
As they should. I mean,
it ain't no problem with it, but that's literally how it goes. And then they give up the picks. Then they capped out with space. And so after, like Kevin said, the next 2 years, it'd be what, 4 years of LeBron being on the team?
yeah.
Yeah, that contract up. It's gonna be hard to get new players on that team. They'll be maxed out. But it's LA, so they'll pay whatever they got to pay.
But also, you can say that in a couple different ways because you can be like, okay, well, these teams max out and sold out everything to get LeBron, and what do they have to show for it? Usually it's rings. So, I mean, he's got a ring in Cleveland, he's got rings in Miami, he's got a ring in LA. So it's not like they did it and nothing happened. You got teams selling out for niggas, and they getting bounced in the first and second round. so, I mean, at least you got something to show for it. I mean, in a couple of years, if he ain't there and they ain't able to rebuild, at least they can say when they did sell out to actually do it, it worked. So,
speaking of rings, question for you, Cam. Your boy Dame Dollar, you think he ever gonna get a ring? Or he gonna just keep chasing the money?
I don't necessarily feel like he's chasing the money. I feel like he's chasing his own personal legacy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna get a chip though.
Probably stand on the Trailblazers. He probably won't just because the West is just so tough. I mean, you have so many teams in there that are getting better every year. And sometimes they get to the playoffs and it'd be some crazy ass upsets. But
like, what if, bro, you saw how they played Curry and Lillard played in the All-Star game, bro?
Mm-hmm.
How would y'all feel if somehow like a trade happened where Lillard got traded for Klay Thompson? Would y'all like that?
No.
Would that be interesting?
Yes.
I know that would be giving up a lot of defense, but bro,
the main reason I would like it is because Lillard is from Oakland.
And
obviously
exactly.
That was the whole Golden State connection. Even though they're in San Francisco now, it's a little bit different. But
yeah,
I mean, I feel like that if that was to happen, that would probably be kind of like something big for him. So that would be kind of dope. But I don't know how great it would work because I mean Klay got the defense and the shooting. I mean he ain't necessarily the best ball handler, but I mean he do what he needs to do with his little bag that he got. So I mean,
so
he ain't failed him yet. So
how many years left Curry got on his contract? 2?
I don't know. Didn't he just sign another one?
Did he just sign another one? Yeah, he just signed another one. I think.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
I have no idea.
Cause I was finna be like, cause there's like speculations going around like, oh, Curry got like 2 years left on his contract. Bron got 2 years left on his contract. What if they just magically just like teamed up?
Yeah,
like,
I've not heard that anywhere.
I haven't.
First take said it.
First Take is not a credible source.
What else? Basically, like the Sports Center type things and stuff like that.
Man, they be on there giving you all different types of crazy what ifs. Stephen A was telling you players gonna go here, absolutely 1,000%. Then they go somewhere completely different. He'd be like, "Well, my sources said." Who are your sources? You wanted him to go there.
I remember Stephen A got on TV telling Kyrie he needs to retire.
Oh yeah.
That was literally last month, bro. You get shown to work. You won't open your mouth. You should just retire. I'm dead serious.
Then came back and was like, "Oh yeah, Kyrie's a good player." But he just did what he didn't do. I'm just like, bro, what? How you gonna say he should retire? But when he come back out balling, you want to say he's a good player.
Bro, he's paying. I was like, he's not getting paid, and he's paying the fines. Whatever. He's not. He's already getting docked for it. The fuck, he got to retire for it. It is what it is. He's still losing money regardless. It is what it is.
Fined?
Yeah, he was getting fined for it. Like every time, like he was getting fined after a certain amount of games. I think he was getting fined. He was getting fined, and then at that portion right before he left, he wasn't doing those interviews, and he was getting fined for that shit too. For every time he was,
I know he was getting fined for that.
Yeah.
I don't think he got fined when he took those games off.
Oh,
I
I
think
thought
he
he
ended up
went.
getting in trouble because of the whole him being at his sister's birthday party thing. He got fined for that.
Yeah.
But
I
as
thought.
far as just missing the games in general, I don't think
I thought
he
he
got
had
fined.
like a lot of time. I thought he went past that a lot of time. Maybe I got that confused.
No,
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
So I seen this on Facebook, and I don't know how to like take it because it was a Kyrie Irving and Allen Iverson debate.
Oh,
And,
Kyrie better.
yeah, and I seen. And
I mean, I'm gonna let you.
Somebody was like, "Oh, Kyrie Irving is not better just because AI took a team
The
with
Sixers to the
Mutombo
finals.
and nobody else to the finals and won one game." But Kyrie hit a clutch, basically a game winner on the Warriors for LeBron James.
They're
And
not
he was
even
going,
that.
and he was going crazy. I feel like Kyrie, like, I don't know. It's something about Kyrie that just makes him better than Allen Iverson to me.
I feel like we got to put in the context that Kyrie has never had a team specifically built around him either.
That's true.
Right, because even when he was in Cleveland, them niggas was tanking still. And they was just
tanking. Got a first
scavenging
round
draft
pick.
picks.
Number one pick when LeBron came back.
I mean, they got Anthony Bennett. We know how that ended. Like, he's kind of getting fucked over in the drafts, too.
Right, and Kyrie was balling then when he was the main focus on the team.
Right.
The rest of the niggas was ass, and he was still putting up crazy numbers.
And people who was supposed to ball with him couldn't even ball. That was fucked up.
I feel like another thing you could kind of put into context is that, yeah, Allen Iverson, they both went to the finals. You could say Allen Iverson took his own team to the finals, but he didn't win. Kyrie went alone.
Just got an update from Twitter. Embiid left knee hyperextended when his whole body landed on that leg. He's on the ground in a ton of pain.
Who?
Embiid.
Oh, yeah. Just like you said. You just said it about 10 minutes ago, Cam.
Hyperextended his knee.
Yeah.
Yikes. Words have power.
Yep. See him at the end of April.
But like, AI took a team to the finals, took his own team to the finals or whatever. He won one game, but he didn't win. Kyrie went number 2 option, maybe, or number 1 option, depending on how you might look as far as scoring. Maybe LeBron deferred to him. Maybe he was the second option, whatever. But it ain't like Kyrie went to the finals with LeBron and played ass. That nigga was going crazy. That's really the only nigga. Like, Curry don't have good defense, but literally, I was in shock the way that he had Curry looking out there. Like, he was doing Curry so dirty on offense. Curry wasn't playing back good. Like, he wasn't doing his own thing. Like, he kind of had a mediocre finals. And, yeah, Kyrie was just hitting some crazy shit. So, I mean, Kyrie do got a ring to show for it. So, I mean, and Kyrie handles is better than Allen Iverson's. And he can shoot better. And he can finish better.
Who the
better finisher, better scorer. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he has a better all-around game. Might be a little faster. I'm not really sure about the speed, if that really matters at all.
Allen Iverson is definitely more athletic.
He a better defender than AI because of his size when he actually tried.
Yeah, Kyrie actually got decent defense when he tried. AI, well, I feel like
I'll give him that.
Was probably a more consistent defender.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he probably was a little bit more consistent. But
then again, he was smaller too. He's like 3 inches smaller. Kyrie's 6'3", 6'2".
Like 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", something like that. I think AI was like 6 feet.
AI was 6 feet even. Yeah. But I'll give it to, like I said, you guys. I feel like you just gotta give it to Kyrie, just for the simple fact that technically, I think he was still technically considered the second option, and he won a ring as a second option type of player. That's enough for me.
But putting up like first option stats,
exactly.
When you really look at those games that Kyrie and LeBron was having, you don't have two players having games like that right next to each other on the same team. Like, that's just not that just don't happen like that.
And
Right.
more,
So,
and it going against more competition too.
right. I think a lot of people are going to pick AI until Kyrie retire because of nostalgia,
Mm.
and then people gonna pick Kyrie because they're gonna look back on like his highlights and be like, "Oh shit, this nigga is cold."
Yeah, like bro, like yeah, like Kyrie just like I really never like I want to say I never watched AI, but I was too young to like see
Oh
what
yeah, you was for sure too
people
young.
see what was AI was doing. The only time I was watching AI is when he was on the Nuggets with Melo. That was the only time I actually like knew of him.
Yeah, and that ain't even doing no justice, really.
Yeah. So yeah, like the way just Kyrie just so smooth, bro. Like the way he just like I don't know, bro. His game is smooth, bro. Like
I was just
Cover.
talking about that last night, talking about like every move that he got has a counter,
Counter. Yep.
but the counters are shit that nobody else would do. I'm thinking
yeah.
like when I see him do shit, I'm like, I would have never thought to do that as the fucking counter. Like, why is that shit just processing in that nigga head like that?
Like I
That nigga's on a different level.
it was one play where he was when Marcus Smart was guarding him. I was like, bro, jeez, bro. Like he was cooking Marcus Smart. I was like, bro, like,
Yeah,
jeez.
that game last night was pretty good.
Yeah.
Issue with a basketball. Max Kellerman voice.
What's that shit that Max Kellerman say? Who would you want shooting the last shot? With the Martians
Iguodala?
have the death beam pointed at us.
Andre Iguodala. He should have been fired right there, bro.
I definitely don't want him taking the last shot on the Heat.
Oh man.
What
All
is
right. So
now? This is probably something completely unrelated, but what the fuck is up with Andre Iguodala hair? Like
Hey,
that nigga,
Oh, even I don't watch him, bro. That's a Willie
I don't
question.
understand. Like it looked
Wow.
like he was going bald, and then literally like a couple nights ago, I seen him playing, or maybe it was last night, or I seen some highlights, and that nigga had a full head of hair again, and he had like a
Right,
low
dude.
cut. I was so
Try to get him
confused.
the LeBron extensions, dog.
what happened was that he had got a haircut and then let his hair grow out and then got it shaped up some or something.
Okay, he's smart.
Just broad in the
I was
middle.
just wondering. That shit just seemed like it happened so fast. Like he didn't have
He's
no hair
still
one
bald,
game, then
like,
he
right.
had hair the next game.
He's
Yeah,
still bald right in here.
Oh
just
man.
need to cut that shit off too.
So what y'all think about Adesanya?
Who?
The
Oh, I
UFC
ain't even
fighter?
watch it, so I can't
Trash.
even comment on it that
The
much.
hype is over. I don't want to hear no more talk about him going against John Bone Jones. I'm done with him, bro. And that ain't no need. You lost
After
against
one
that dude.
fight? After one
Yes,
fight?
you went up. You can't hold your ground in that weight, bro. And you think he gonna be John Bronze Jones?
Bro,
All
that
that
was
shit John
one
Jones
fight.
Did he
was
go
talking
up a weight
about.
class?
Yeah, he went
Yeah,
up.
he went up. He went up. That's why he lost to that dude.
And lost by decision.
Yep. But he
Lost by decision though. And you act like he got
If you
knocked
lost
out.
to this dude, if you lost to that dude to a decision, hello stutter. How in the world are you going to beat John Bones Jones, bro, in that same class? It ain't no way.
Come on.
There's
bro.
no way.
I give bro.
You think he beat
Bro, you think he can beat Jones, bro?
I want no, he's not being the best UFC
I
fighter.
was telling
No.
Terrence the reason why nobody is beating John Jones because he is going to make sure you don't beat him.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Feel it, bro.
He gonna do some drugs. He gonna beat your ass. You gonna lose. Confidence be all fucked up. You gonna say you could beat him because he was juiced up. I can beat him when he not on it, and he gonna come back and beat your ass while he not on it too. So it's like
Because he got the feel for you the first match, and you about to go up in there thinking he gonna do the exact same thing. No,
I don't even see why niggas try to fight him again after that shit. Like why?
Right. The
Right.
first one was the setup.
Exactly though.
Oh man.
No, but I think he's still a good fighter though, even though he lost to decision. Like that's just a decision, you know what I'm saying? That's like Floyd Mayweather losing to decision. He's still one of the greatest boxers of all time.
You cannot relate, but he hasn't lost though. Terrible example.
Who can I go with? Okay, Conor McGregor.
Bro,
Nah, he just got his ass knocked out though.
Yeah, he done got rocked, bro. He done got rocked and choked out. That's a worse, especially when you get choked
I don't know
out.
the other UFC fighters like that.
Me neither. It's all right. I don't watch it like that. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
But yeah,
Silva wasn't that great after he got beat that one time.
Silva is definitely great still.
Oh yeah, Silva's
I think
Silva just got too old in the game. That's all.
Yeah, sometimes you need to know when to hang that shit up. What'd you say, Willie?
I said, wasn't he like 40 when he fought dude or something?
Yeah, he was pretty old.
Israel probably could have took him out for real. I mean, Silva probably could have took him out for real if it was like 10 years ago. Yeah, I would have took Anderson Silva.
To be honest, I never really saw dude fight. I just always seen like the little highlights and shit. To be honest, I really don't watch UFC like that.
Yeah,
I don't watch it like that no more either.
I only just watch him because he just so smooth with it. And he be talking crazy too. So that's why I like.
Finally caught up with him. He thought he can go to another weight class, and he couldn't beat. God, you went up to another weight class, but then you fight the champion off rip in that weight class. I feel like that was just a little too cocky, bro. That's a little too disrespectful.
That's how it is in UFC now.
So he fought the champion.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that's why he lost the decision. Like he went over there and went to the weight. He gained weight, go to the next weight class, and fought the champion off rip. I'm like, you ain't even fought a couple of dudes first. That's weird to me.
Fought the champion. You made it seem like he just fought some random scrub and lost by decision, so he wouldn't.
Yeah, you could do that.
That's John Jones. I'm just like, oh, he was a champ.
Yeah, you could do that though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could be a champion in your division, and then you really don't have to fight nobody else in the other division you go up into. You could just fight the champion right off the rip. Yeah.
Technique.
Yeah, but yeah, he's still good though. He good. He all right.
Yeah, it's just a little blemish. It just really depends on how they bounce back. So I feel like more than anything, that kind of shows what type of fighter you are when you get that L, that embarrassing one, and then see how you come back if you're gonna beat somebody else ass that you should beat, and then they rock you too, and then it's like, yeah, it's a wrap then.
Well, fuck it, get him John Bones Jones then. If you go ahead and get if Jones get him, just stay in his own weight class, bro. That's all.
No, I'm talking about go back to his weight class. With somebody else. If he go back to his weight class and get beat by somebody, then you know it's probably a wrap.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, and another Conor McGregor.
Y'all remember Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, that's kind of that same thing that I'm talking about.
Like once, and then it was just over.
It was over. Like she never regained confidence.
Yeah, because she didn't even. It wasn't even necessarily that she lost. She got dominated by old girl.
Yeah,
and she went back and she fought somebody else that she should have won against. That she had dominated too, and got dominated again.
Like it was the weirdest crap ever. It's the weirdest junk ever. The weirdest overhyped story of all time. Like she's just killing everybody for like 3-4 years, and then it just died. Went to WWE for like a year and a half, and then had a child, and then just disappeared off the planet. It's like, all right.
Okay. Yeah, action movie star.
Yeah, she has done movies. You're right about that. She done something called 22 Mile. I think it's on Netflix.
What?
I think she did a movie called 22 Miles on Netflix.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't be paying attention to wrestling no more. I've been done with that.
Yeah, right. I got like one more year in me. I said I'm gonna stop at 30. I got one more year.
Why stop at 30?
I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna be over it, man. I ain't
feeling
like
about to stop everything.
Everything.
Nigga stop pooping. Game no more. Not watching wrestling. Nigga ain't gonna have no hobbies.
You gonna do all you do is just be mad?
Hell yeah, watch the Lions start drinking beer and be mad as hell.
What, bro? Did you say eat Mr. Bag and be mad, bro? I'm done.
Yeah, it's not.
Probably skip it. Why not?
So this is the next topic, a little juicy one. So what should a guy see in a woman, or what should a woman see in a guy? Like, what's y'all opinion on that?
All based on your perception, to be honest. What do you want? People want different things. So I mean, it ain't necessarily a end all be all of what you should see. I mean, it's some things that you probably should want. I mean, you don't want no broke bitch. So
We got it, bro. We gotta send this question to Kevin, though, bro. We got to.
It's a real subjective question because somebody could want something that's totally different from the next person.
Yeah.
Like, what do y'all mainly look into a woman? Like, what do y'all want from a woman? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, off the rip.
Can't be no bum at all.
Easy, right?
But of course, ain't nobody gonna want somebody that's like not doing well for themselves, because if they're not doing well for themselves, how they gonna focus on trying to build something with you? That don't really make
and not even that. They just gonna be a fucking burden.
Yeah, true. I was trying not to be mean about it. All right. Let's throw this to Pastor Kev.
Yeah, this gotta be his question, bro. This is your question, bro. You already know. Let's get it.
Maybe not he called me Pastor Kev. It's funny though.
You do look like a pastor, bro. You got the dad hat with the, you know what I'm saying? You kind of do
Up in iron.
I'm in the Lord's army. I got an army shirt on or something. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, you did have the glasses on for a minute too, you know. But go ahead, Kevin.
I personally feel like it's really about compatibility. I think that's important. I think a lot of people hype up looks and, you know, being the finest thing ever. I mean, definitely you want looks matter, but compatibility is huge too. But also someone that can call you out when you're slacking. I think that's something people struggle with. I know for me personally, I used to want a yes person, like to, you know, just agree with whatever I say, and a true beta female. But I feel like now, I would say my fiance is not a beta female. I feel like she's has her own opinions, and sometimes we butt heads. But I think I need that to kind of challenge myself to be better. So I mean, I think compatibility is one, but I also say someone that can hold you accountable and challenge you to be better, and then vice versa is the key.
I agree, because I feel like that being able to hold each other accountable just like helps you keep yourself grounded. I mean, it don't let one or the other really get too like out of control or make decisions that aren't best for, I guess, the relationship or the marriage or whatever. I mean, especially when you start getting into marriage, definitely it's a lot more joint decisions than individual decisions. So I mean, when you just out here about to make a selfish decision, like, oh no, I'm about to quit my job. It's like, oh, well, how the bills gonna get paid? It's like, I don't know how they gonna get paid. You can't just be making decisions like that if you really like care for somebody and they're able to hold you accountable for your actions and stuff. So,
yeah,
what
sure.
would you look for in a woman, Trey?
In a woman,
Why you say it like that?
Yo, a woman? No, man.
her personality, like,
Absolutely.
see if I could vibe with you and stuff like that.
What if she ugly? What if she got a personality?
That's
the pressure.
That's the thing. Like, of course I would date no ugly girl with a good, like, you know what I'm saying, personality, but
why not?
I mean, that's not what I'm into. Like,
why not?
I mean,
you said what you look for right now is personality. You get the personality and now you don't like it.
Yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying? I just can't, you know what I'm saying, be with a girl. Like, she gotta be decent.
Okay. I think what you should say is that I have to be attracted to the person that I'm with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So that's one of the things. I mean, obviously, I feel like everybody should be attracted to the person that they with because that is not going to be a fun time
Mentally,
at all.
physically, emotionally, and spiritually. All of them. You need all that. You need all phases, bro.
Yeah.
Where the physical, honestly, probably 9 times out of 10, physically is probably the last thing on that list. Goes maybe like third or fourth on that list, depending. Just depending on your order, what your mindset is, and what your level of importance is.
I feel like physical can sometimes become that last one on the list, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
when you first see somebody, what kind of like attracts you to them before they even open their mouths? It's how they
Yeah,
look.
naturally. Oh,
So I mean,
this is what I always get into. I said just naturally. It's just like I think like we're just wired this way. As it's just instinctual because all we know how we go by and what we see is just we're just attracted by someone's appearance. That's all we know, and
mhm,
that's what gets you to go and talk to them anyway. You don't know anything about their energy, about their vibe, but you talk to them, you figure out. Can you make a
right.
fucking complete sentence? Is that do I like the flow? Do I like the
And
sound of
then
your voice? Do you not sound
yeah,
ghetto? Do you not sound like are you illiterate? Like whatever, and so on and so forth with that list of whatever you're looking for. So I
Right.
always say
fact.
my thing is always say, like Kevin was saying, relatability and compatibility are the main two things. You can't get down with that, it's probably gonna be a bad road for you. Because y'all know me, I always tell y'all this all the time. I believe in generational dating. That means I don't like to date anyone no more than 4 years older than me or no more than 4 years younger than me. I'm just in that realm. That's just me. I feel like because that goes along the path of the compatibility and the relatability part. Because I don't want to be in a relationship where I feel like I am a teacher. I want us just to
Yeah,
know
that's
some
me. That's
things. Like we can teach each other new things, but I want to feel like either I'm just telling you stuff all the time, or you can't relate or compare to what I'm talking about, and vice versa. No one should have to explain themselves like that in that way. But it should just be a joint thing, and you go forward with that process. But yeah, I don't want to be teaching somebody and them teaching me on a day-to-day basis over some common or generalization type thing that we already should know about our history and so on and so forth. So
I would say I'm like Terrence,
That's
like,
true.
but I'm like I only date I only dated one girl that was like around my age. Other than that, I've been dating girls like a little younger than me. Uh Overall, it's to me it's the same, but I will say me dating younger girls, I can say that they whole mindset is different, bro. Like like it's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they mindset, they communication, like you could say something so like specific and just, you know what I'm saying? And it could just be a girl thing, but they just they just see the difference in what you saying to them. You just like, bro, dude, I'm saying totally something completely different, and you just blew it out of proportion and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just a girl thing. Maybe it's just not a young girl thing. But yeah,
No, I see what you're saying. It's just more like sometimes it doesn't really necessarily have to do with the age, but generally I feel like when you're older, just naturally, I just feel like you probably 9 times out of 10 are gonna just have more experiences. And that's why usually with age and when you're older, you're just more mature, but it's not always the case. You could be exposed to more stuff when you're younger than you
right,
are older. Like I said, we got more grown as women, probably younger in their 20s than basically my age group now when I'm about to be in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's all a feel, what you adapted to, your surroundings, what you grow up in, what you see every day, and what you just exposed to at all in general.
right, yeah,
So that's just on me. I hope I helped out with that.
yeah. I mean, over time as I date more, you know what I'm saying, it's, I can see, you know, what I can look forward to and stuff like that. You know, um, yeah, you know, I'm still trying to live my life. You know,
Patience is everything, bro. Uh, Well, I say anything, the keys I feel like for just the relationship, it's not just communication. People always leave out that part. but it's
You
Yeah.
get where to go, right?
it's understanding. It's patience, communication, but actually understanding what's actually being told. I can listen to you. I can listen to you all day. You can talk to me. I can listen to you all day, but it don't mean a
Facts.
damn thing. I don't understand what you're talking about. I
Facts.
can't. That falls back again. I can't relate to you. I can't compare to you. It's all one big wrap, one big bubble. If you can't get those little things down, those are the little things that transfer over to the big things later. It will
So let
never
me
work
ask
out.
y'all this. Have y'all ever been in a relationship where y'all just lost interest in somebody while dating them?
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, I most definitely I can say that I definitely lost interest
I
in
mean, one thing that could happen is you have interest in that person when you first meet or first like start talking, and then when you finally like really start getting to know them, you start just seeing like the things that you don't like, and it can just really turn you off. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying like this is like, months down the line. This could just be, a couple weeks. You meet a girl, get her number, whatever it may
Do you
be.
like Rick and Morty?
And what's that line? Or are you talking to me? No, he wasn't us. But I feel like it just kind of all depends because some people lose interest really fast, some people don't. So when you do lose interest, it can be in a couple weeks, it could be a couple months. But I doubt that when people actually like go like months and just lose interest out of nowhere, that's like some deeper issues though.
No, I'd have definitely been there in a relationship like in like months down the road, and I just lost interest. I don't know. I wouldn't say I don't know. I just sometimes I just lose interest in the girl that I'm dating. I don't know. It's crazy. Like
I mean,
I don't know.
You probably just realizing that down the road that just the mindset and the goals and the dreams and the aspirations are just not the same. And you just lose the interest in that. She's like, she don't have the same goals as me, or like her thing, or maybe she has stronger or better goals than me right now, or I have better, or vice versa, or my goals are bigger than hers, and we don't link on that same wavelength right now.
Right.
Because that maybe I'll see, maybe like I said, this gonna be an ego thing from guys. And you see like, her goals is maybe she's gonna make more money than me in her field, and then the task she has to get there. I can't see us really being together, taking that time off and away from each other. I can't see us like just being joint. And I know seeing us being that distant while she pursues her happiness in her career, I can't see myself being on the sideline in that way. And then once again, vice versa, that can be the same thing for you as well.
Right. Okay. What else? Should it be 50-50 or should the guy provide for the whole household?
Woo, this one about to be heavy.
I feel like for that question.
Well, like I said, I'm about to be right back. But what I'll say real quick is that do whatever works for you in your relationship.
Amen.
Exactly what I was about to say.
That's where the communication and understanding comes into play. My fault, Willie. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's you good. I mean, I was just saying it's whatever works for that couple. Some people, it ain't gonna be 50-50, and it can never be 50-50. Like some people, it'll be 30-70. And to them, that'll be 50-50. Because sometimes it won't be about equity. It'll just, equality. It'll be about equity. It'll be, you do what you can, and that'd be cool. And I'll take care of what I need to take care of. Some people, you pay the rent, I'll get the utilities. Or I pay utilities and rent, you get the groceries. So it just really depends on the people.
All right.
Yes. Somebody told me once, they said it's not about 50-50. They said that's where a lot of people go wrong and they make their mistake. It should be 100 to put all your effort in to where somebody is slacking, they make up for it. And then where you are slacking, or where you are slacking, or where they are slacking, you make up for it. And where they are slacking, or where you are slacking, they make up for it. So yeah, vice versa. I think I said the same thing twice, but yeah, you get where I was going with that.
Kevin.
I mean, I kind of agree with Cam, man. I feel like it depends who works for you. I feel like if you would have asked somebody, 30 years from now, you would say, the man paid for this and all that stuff. But I feel like every society's changing where it's normal for, to do 50-50. Or I even know situations at my job where the woman's the breadwinner and the guy stays at home. So, I mean, I feel like now it's not really, I don't have an answer for it. I think whatever works for you is really the best thing, honestly. That's kind of about it.
Yeah, I'll probably say the same thing too, like whatever just works for you, you know what I'm saying? To me, honestly, like yeah, it's just whatever works for you, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's definitely pros and cons to it both though.
Yeah.
Like
I wouldn't
like
just like take some, you know what I'm saying? Like if you offer me some, like if a girl offer me like, hey, I pay this, stuff like that, you need money for this, I probably wouldn't take it. I don't know, that's just me. Like I wouldn't be like, I just wouldn't like take it, like I just be like, nah, I'm good, I still have the money to do this, you know what I'm saying? Just take care of what you need to take care of and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. Just for more of a personal points, like just with my parents and upcoming, like, dude, they did everything together, everything together. So, like, I know coming up, I know my dad, like, he raised the question to my mother, like, if she could have been a stay at home mom, but she didn't choose that option but it gave us more opportunities later down the road to do better things and more things. For instance, we wouldn't have those family vacations if mom also wasn't working. You see what I'm saying? We wouldn't have got out the house and had done other things and planned family trips and things of that nature. So just like, yeah, for every pro, there's a con, man. What else? For instance, like they do everything together. So like even laundry. So like I live in a 3-story house right downstairs. My dad wasn't a big fan of my mother like climbing stairs or whatever. So he would always do the line. He would always wash and dry the clothes. He would bring it back up. They would fold the clothes together. Every day they would do dishes and dinners every day. Everything was joints and together. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you
Everything
don't see a lot of that going on now. You really don't. Because
it makes everything easier.
Yeah, I agree, but I disagree. I feel like one thing I noticed for me, I think it's important to be together, but I also feel like it's important to have your own identity too. Like I feel like sometimes you can overbear somebody by just being there 24/7, where you kind of start resenting people. So I think it's important to be together, but also still have your own friends, still be able to do stuff with the boys, or her do stuff with the girls, or vice versa.
yeah,
No, I just meant when it came to things around like finances and things around the house. My bad if I didn't make that like more like specific.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but yeah, they always had their side of personal lives too. Absolutely, they had to say like, hey, "Where are you going?" Like, "Oh no, you can't go without me."
Yeah,
No, they wasn't like that.
like if I had a wife, like if when I get older and I have a wife, I wouldn't mind like you know what I'm saying like us cooking together, us like doing laundry, us going to like the grocery store together and stuff like that. Cause like now, I wouldn't say, let me not put like, a specific like race on it, but I feel like now just in general, a lot of people like doesn't do that no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? The only time we do see that type of stuff is like on the internet. And I feel like a lot of people is grasping towards their relationship want to be what's on the internet. Yeah, I dislike that, bro. Like, cause I don't want to meet a girl and all she talking about is like, oh yeah, you see how Russell Wilson treating Sierra and stuff like that. I want you to be like this and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the whole like celebrity thing because
because that ain't, and at the day, it might not necessarily be us. That's more like a fairy tale type land. Like, especially like I said, career choice that we pick for ourselves, we'll be making those 6, 7, 8 figures, 6, 7 figures. Like, is that really realistic for our mindset and our path that we chosen to live for ourselves and for our other person?
And
So
not only that, just how he treats Sierra. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I could treat you right, but is it gonna be like how Russell Wilson is doing it? Because that's what you see. You're not seeing what's going on behind closed doors and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you a Cinderella type of like, you know, marriage. You know what I'm saying? This is life, you know. It's that's just, you know what I'm saying? I can't do that for you, you know.
Honestly, I feel like that's a big issue. A lot of people, I feel like social media in general, or just even having like family and friends around you. You think about the idea of like idolatry, basically, where you're idolizing someone else's relationship. Like I even remember times where, like, you go to a wedding, your friend get married, then like you thinking about, okay, now I want to get married now because everybody else getting married, and just really trying to just kind of fit that norm. Where, like, I know some people say, like, you get 30 years old, now you got to settle down, now you got to have kids because that's what society tell you to do. But really said nah. No, but I mean, I guess more so I feel like you got to make it your own, and like social media, you can control your own narrative. So like you said, they could be arguing every day, but they post their good photos. You think about like people like Offset or Cardi B, public relationships, and they be getting divorced and they get back together. But in the public, when you see the pictures, you're like, okay, they look happy, but then it could be stuff behind the closed doors you don't even know about. But then it's not even fair too for you to even like put that pressure on somebody else to be somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Exactly.
actually not this way. You can't make me this way because that's what you see on social media. You guys
Exactly.
are.
Exactly. And that could go both ways. Like, I know some dudes who does it and some girls who does it. You know what I'm saying? That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? I want to tell my girl, like, yeah, I want you to be like this and that. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? Being honest. And that's what I tell a lot of girls when they say, when they ask me questions and stuff like that. I just be myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at, celebrities, relationship and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool, but that doesn't like, I don't grab towards that, you know what I'm saying? I just tell them off rip. I would be myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be a little a-hole, you know. I don't like to argue, so if you try to argue with me, that's off rip. I'll just go sit quiet, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm not finna be nobody else, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna act like nobody else. I'm not finna get no type of like, shoes, clothes to look like somebody else. I'm just be my own self. You should be your own self too, because I feel like it's not necessarily gonna flow better, but it's gonna look better to me. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to be like somebody else, because it's just gonna create a lot of problems. You know what I'm saying, and a lot of arguments. So yeah.
Willie, quiet, man. What's your thoughts? What's your take on it, Willie?
I mean, my take on it is one, you shouldn't change yourself to try to be with nobody. And two, social media gives people a really big false sense of reality. Like, not only is it just celebrities, like it's internet couples, it's YouTube couples that people follow other people's vlogs to look at their life and to sometimes they compare their life to their life and be like, well, I want to do that, or I want to be like them, where they don't have any idea what's going on behind them cameras or when them cameras are going on. But we just at the age where everything is accessible. So it's like people just pick and choose what they want to have access to. And if they want to just watch couples, they'll watch couples and just live that way. And with all the accessibility, it's made it easier for people to profit off things like that too. I can't remember her name, but it's somebody that I seen on Facebook. It's some girl that just had a viral video and it went crazy. And so then she just started going live doing crazy things for views. And I think like she's verified on Facebook, so she probably gets paid for it. So if people watching, you're gonna get paid, and so you just keep doing whatever keeps people watching you. And that's why I feel like people get that false sense of reality that these things aren't real. They're just put here for you to keep watching.
Right.
True.
Do you think it's what they see, or do you think it's them seeing the money situation on like YouTube couples and stuff like that?
Well, that be all part of seeing, right? It's just like I was saying earlier. Usually the stuff that we're most attracted to first is instinctuals because it's of what we physically see. So it's just based off of that. It looks nice. It seems like it would be nice. So let me go and try to get that. Let me have it. Let me hopefully I can attract that in some type of way into my life so I can feel that way as well. I feel like it's just as simple as that, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, if you can do it, you know what I'm saying? Go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Always say, I follow three rules every day, man. I practice 3 P's of life: patience, persistence, and perception. From hardest to easiest. Be patient with everything you're trying to go through. Be persistent with what you're trying to achieve in life, and give off the perception of what you're gonna give off to the world, and it'll come back to you tenfold. That's simple.
Pastor Terrence.
That's me, man. Every day, brother. Every day. Gotta simplify for yourself, man. Gotta simplify. World's hard for everybody. Just gotta find a way to make it work for you. And that's how it works for me.
Right. Okay. This probably gonna wrap it up. Where do you want to be in the next 5 years, or where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
To be honest, I don't have any idea where I'm gonna be in 5 years because I feel like how my life is setting up to be. I feel like I'm gonna be basically trying different things to see where I want to land, and then furthering my education or whatever else I need to do to move up where I be at, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't plan on being in the same place. Like I don't plan on being in the same city. I plan on probably trying to move this year out this city. And then 5 years from now, I could be out the state. This all depends on where I go and where the money lead me, honestly.
Do you think you within the 5 years, do you think you will meet somebody and potentially have kids?
No.
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 Okay.
Well, potentially, maybe. Plan?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. Kevin, Terrence, doesn't matter.
Terrence.
Oh, you say you'll give it to me? Yeah, personally for me, like I always feel like this might sound ridiculous, but I always just set my life on like this little this little checklist where I feel like where I should be at certain ages, even though I know that's not really realistic and it's probably not healthy, but just kind of just a guideline to try to just help me keep a type of structure in my life. But I always said somewhere around 30, when I'm in my 30s, I wanted to be married. That ain't looking too hot right now. And I said, and I said like somewhere around 32. Yeah, I wanted to be I wanted to start my family around then. Because personally, I was born late. I'm the youngest of three. And I was born when my parents were 39 and 37. So yeah. So I always just had a later mindset on just starting a family. But for me, yeah, just the mindset is hopefully just finding a lady, getting with that lady, and starting a family of my own, because it's getting to that age. I'm getting old now.
All right. Okay, if you already getting married, so.
Except for 5 years from now, is that the question?
Yeah.
Little baby kids.
31 or so. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having kids by then too, but I guess for me, I just want to say, really, just being happy with marriage, and hopefully still married at that point and not divorced or something along that sort of, no tragedies, anything like that. But just really being happy. I mean, hopefully career is still going okay. Maybe still in SAC, maybe not, maybe somewhere else. I don't really know, man. I just say the biggest thing is just kind of the same thing I say now, is just try to be happy every day and keep meaningful relationships. I think that's more important to me. I realized before I thought like, being career driven is important, but at the same time, it's like you make it to the top and you're around people that don't really care about you. It's not the same.
Mhm.
So you got those people
Yeah,
around you that you feel like, truly ride for you. I mean, that's more valuable than how much money you can make too. So as long as I got that, really good relationships and God, I'm good.
Right. Well, okay, so let me ask you this. What's like the feeling of the whole process of going like to get married? Like how does it feel? Like what's the process? How's the process like? How does it feel?
Like, what you mean?
Like how can I put it? Like
like what do you feel like were the steps that you went through to know like when you were ready and you knew she was the one?
yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like our story is a little different than most people. I feel like, you think it's magical stuff. I mean, I think for me, you just realize, I consider her like my best friend, who I can talk to about stuff personally. Um, and I mean, I feel like you can tell, you just kind of get a feeling in your chest. It sounds kind of silly to say like, but you do kind of just know after a while. You have to be through some good times and bad times, and they kind of put stuff in perspective. I know for me personally, like, we took a little period apart just to kind of get our heads together. And during that period, it made it clear to me that, I'm not out here in these streets. I'm not really out here trying to be chose. That's not really me. I'd rather be settled down. And I feel like she always had my best interest at heart, and pick God first for me, which was important for me personally, on that regard. But I don't know, man. It felt right. I felt like our personalities meshed pretty well. Um, she's probably the first person I ever dated who actually called me out when I was slacking. I feel like I've dated in the past, some yes people where I can kind of just whatever I want to do, no one challenges it, and I kind of do whatever I want. But um, it was an adjustment to be kind of checked. You know what I mean? When you used to doing your own thing. So, but I realized, I need somebody like that in my life who challenged me to be better, not only for myself but for my family, for my friends, and all that stuff too. So that was that. But I think it's important too. You got to think about families, merging families together too. You're not just marrying that person; you're marrying their family as well. And I feel like her family
Yeah.
was real loving, man. To be honest, they always been
Absolutely.
real open to me, treat me like their own. I remember Christmas where, we were still dating, and they was like, "Hey, stay night with us on Christmas and wake up as a family and open up gifts as a family." And I just really appreciated that. And she's always been, honest and thoughtful. So I really appreciate that too.
That was a good one because I feel like in this generation, when like in like in this generation, when they do get married, when some of us get married in this generation, I feel like they tends to leave the family out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, yeah, they kind of tend to leave the family out, and like I wouldn't say it's disrespectful, but I feel like you should some kind of sort of and still include both families.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah, your problems are their problems and their problems are your problems. So it's not an individual thing at all.
yeah.
Everything becomes joint, especially if you're more on like the religious side.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Ooh, of course. Yeah. What about you, Cam? What do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I don't know. I mean, I plan on going back to school. I'm not sure exactly what I'll be doing career wise, but in the next 5 years, let me see. I turn 27, so I'll be 32. I'd honestly like to have at least be married by the time I'm 32. I mean, maybe not have kids, but Yeah, I definitely like to be married by then because if I don't get married by then, I ain't getting married. Fuck it. But well, I wouldn't necessarily rule it out, but I feel like it'd be something that I feel like will get less important the older I get. Crazy as that sounds, I mean, I feel like people get older and they want to have like more family, but sometimes I feel like building those connections the older you get sometimes be a little more difficult because you get to that age, people have already been married probably once, maybe twice, probably got some kids and shit, and it's like, and I ain't got none of that, and I gotta come fuck with yours.
Yeah, exactly. I really
know.
want to deal with that headache. Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely don't plan on living in Flint by then. To be honest, I want to live outside the state of Michigan, but at the end of the day, on some real shit, I ain't even that mad about like living in Michigan. Like we actually have a lot of dope shit to do here. I just hate that it snows. To be honest, like if it didn't snow, I wouldn't even mind it. It's really just the snow, so that's kind of a trash reason to move to an extent. And I feel like for my degree field, there's actually a pretty decent amount of jobs for what I want to do here in Michigan. So it's not really a lot of incentive for me to leave besides the snow. So that could actually be detrimental to me more than it will actually help. It'll be sunny and warm, but might be a little bit harder to find a job that I actually enjoy doing. That's 5 years and 10 years. On some real shit, I have no fucking idea. I mean, in 10 years, shit, better be married, better have some kids by then for sure. Because I'll be 37.
No.
Nah, yeah. That has to happen by then. So,
bro, I'm definitely not having any kids after 35, fam. If I'm 35 and don't have any kids, I'm just not having none off rip. That's just me though. Because I want to actually be able to enjoy them, grow up.
Same.
Right.
Honestly, like I feel like when you're young, you always be like, oh, I want to be married by this age. I want to have kids by this age. My dumb ass was definitely thinking like, I'd have been married by now, had a kid. It's like, that shit is so unrealistic.
It is. It is.
Like, I guess on some, like, to be honest, if I was married now, if it was like a happy like marriage or whatever, that possibly could have happened by now, but it just didn't. Now the kids thing probably still wouldn't have happened just because I feel like getting married, I want to at least be able to like enjoy myself with that person as far as like being married and stuff.
At least for a
before introducing kids into the equation. I mean, so that's why the dating part definitely helps too. I mean, but definitely when you get married, that's a completely different ball game. But yeah, I mean, because when you introduce kids into the marriage or into a relationship, it changes the whole dynamic of things. Either it could be for the better or for the worse. I mean, sometimes you never really know. But they require a lot of attention, and they definitely can hinder the amount of stuff that you can do for a little while at least. So, I mean, it can be stressful. So, yeah, that's hopefully what I'll be doing in the next 5 years. Hopefully, I'm not working the same job. And if I am, hopefully, I'm getting paid more.
Right. With me in the next 5 years, I'll be what, like 24, 25? I most definitely, I probably will go back to school, go back to college. My major will probably change. Well, it will be changed. I will probably go back into school for videography and stuff like that. Even though I'm teaching myself now, when I do go back to school for videography, then, I could, I could be up there, you know what I'm saying? So by the time I do get out of school and stuff like that, maybe hopefully I could have my own TV show. That's my dream right now, to have my own TV show or collab with somebody to work on a movie or something. Kids, I'm not looking forward into no kids as of right now. That's not my main focus. Yeah, I do want to have kids, like probably like late 20s, going into my 30s. I'm not really pressed on kids, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I could live my life without having kids, to be honest. Um,
You can't say that.
why not?
You don't want the legacy to continue.
Yeah, our family ain't big enough to be saying that you
Yeah,
don't want to have
yeah,
no
but
kids.
if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. You
Oh
know?
yeah, I mean, there's gonna be out here shooting a club up
Yeah.
just randomly.
But yeah, most definitely I do want to have some kids. But if it doesn't work out, then just doesn't. That's
Yeah,
how life was probably planned to be. But married, I definitely want to get married. I would say I do want to get married first before I have kids, but life can take a quick turn at any time. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you can prevent that.
Yeah, you can. You can, most definitely.
That's a choice.
Yeah, it's a choice thing, most definitely. You know what I'm
The bear,
saying?
you can prevent wildfires.
But before any of that, I'm trying to, right now I'm getting my, trying to get my business together. Trying to get my LLC and stuff like that. Trying to have my own brand and stuff like that. Um, right now it's really just the business mindset. Hopefully I could get that before, getting married and have kids. Hopefully, like I said, life just take a turns, like how Terrence said, you could have so many like goals and stuff like that, but some of them just doesn't, happen the way, you want them to happen. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, that's the way I see myself 5 years. Will I still be in Vegas? I don't know. I do want to move out to like Houston. I like Houston. I like California.
How do you
Um,
like Houston?
why I like Houston?
How?
How? Just um, I like I like I like the houses there.
No, I'm talking
Um,
about like, have you been there?
no, but I do want to visit. That's gonna be like one of the places that I'm gonna visit in the summer, probably alongside of California. Even though I've been to California already. When I went to California, that really like changed my whole like perspective. I was just like, dang, California look like this, San Diego look like this. Sheesh, I could really see myself living here. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like one of the first place that I traveled to, and that was like, and I always wanted to like, visit California because that's one of the places I wanted to live in. So I was just like, dang, bro, yeah, this cool. This can fit me. Um, I also want to visit Miami because that's another place I want to live in. So the places that I do want to like go travel to is the places that I I can see myself potentially living in, like Houston, California, Miami, stuff like that. So yeah, you know, hopefully I have a better job um,
In 5 years,
in 5 years,
you will.
or I'm just doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Independent, having my own brand, my own business. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Try to figure out what you want to name your show, bro. The
my
Trey
show,
Herb Show. The Trey Herb Show.
I can't put that on air.
I feel you.
A lot of people be,
Yeah, they gonna
catching it.
snag that real fast. So I got a
Yeah,
patent
yeah.
that.
That's just like my business name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, like right now, I have so many business names in mind that I just won't tell people. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh yeah.
people, what's your business name and stuff like that. Oh, is this that really your podcast name? I just be like, I don't know. Right now, I'm just doing anything, but really in my head, I already know what my real podcast name going to be, my real show going to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, then I was somebody was talking to me the other day, and it's like, why videography? Why you want to like, have your own TV show and make movies and stuff like that. I don't know. It was just I always wanted to do YouTube. It's just I ain't had no job to, what I'm saying, get the equipment that I needed and stuff like that. Um I say Martin was one of the TV shows that really like made me like want to have my own TV show, like, just being yourself, goofy, funny, you know what I'm saying? And John Singleton was one of like my favorite like movie producer, because I like he made movies about like, what was going on like in the Black community, stuff like that. The way I looked at it, you know what I'm saying? I want to be like that. And Denzel Washington was like my favorite actor, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what really like, you know, made me focus towards on like videography and stuff like that. I'm just doing YouTube just to build my platform, because right now in the internet, social media is like real big, and as of right now, it's looking like it's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's it's just keep progressing and stuff like that. The internet, YouTube, all that type of stuff, social media influencers is going to be, you know what I'm saying, like people, like we say now that people really don't look into college, but I can say in the next 5 to 10 years, college can really be out the question, you know what I'm saying? Because it's what we seen, you know what I'm saying? Like Terrence saying, it's what we seen, so yeah.
Yeah, just so like I said, the only thing you really need is just so select few, like engineering stuff. You need like engineers,
Yeah. Tech
doctors,
schools.
lawyers, like those certain select few. That's all you really need school for. You don't need to school to be an entrepreneur. You don't need that shit.
Yeah. Because look,
Everything.
they on YouTube now. Real estate people on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Um, Fixing
And you do
cars.
have to take classes and
Yeah.
certifications to do real
Yeah.
estate, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's really about to dominate the game more than anything is
yeah,
certifications. If you
yep,
just seen the stuff that Google is talking about launching, where they're trying to disrupt the whole college thing by introducing like a program that's like $250 that you can go get like certifications on and shit.
For two
And
hundred
if
fifty
that
dollars.
actually, yeah,
Wow.
and if that actually like goes through and like is actually like, I would assume we probably need to be some type of accreditation for whatever endeavor that specific certificate is geared towards. But if that actually works, that shit will be groundbreaking because I
exactly.
mean, there's a lot of jobs that, like you said, really don't require degrees but are more certification based.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how some of those people are able to get into different career pathways without having to go into like crazy ass debt to stay up in that shit.
Yeah, in a heartbeat, I'll spend a few hundreds than a few thousands for the same thing. Ain't
I think a lot of
that's
people will. I think a
it's
lot of
not even
people will.
that is not a rocket science on that one, fellas.
Yeah, because I think it was like 2 weeks ago, Granny had sent me some type of like cyber security thing.
At
And
U of M Flint,
yeah,
the one at U of M Flint.
yeah. And I don't think the cost was that high.
Yeah, it's a certificate program.
Yeah. So I was just like, it's like dang, like the type of programs they creating is like it's, you know what I'm saying? It's, I would say, if you don't want to go to college, you have plenty of like, other things you can like go into and stuff like that. You don't have to go to college. You can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's still college though. I mean, U of M Flint is a college, so
Yeah.
that's a little bit different. I mean, even most other like certificates and trade like programs are
Yeah,
still
in
through
college.
colleges. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And what else? Um, Next 10 years? I don't know. I do want to have my own charity. That's what I really want to have in the next 10 years. It's my own charity, giving back and stuff like that. So yeah.
You're gonna start small with Flint.
Huh?
I said, are you gonna start small with your
Of
charity?
course. I always tell people if I start my own charity and stuff like that, it's gonna be starting in Flint because that's where I grew up at. Um, yeah, I know way more people in Flint because I was in into the politics things and stuff like that. I know the mayor, good relationship with her. Well, the past mayor, I had a good relationship with her. Um, and I was always with my granny and the mayor. So yeah, I met, a couple people, contact with them. I haven't, I don't be contacting like that through them a lot of times, but sometimes they hit me up like, how you doing, stuff like that. But yeah, I want to have my own charity and starting in Flint, you know, and get back.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Sure, make it happen, brother. Make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Start at home, and you can make it work at home. You can make it work anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I don't know. I don't know how long this podcast has been, but it was a pretty good time talking to y'all and stuff like that. I definitely appreciate y'all joining me on this podcast, stuff like that. This was a pretty interesting, successful podcast with y'all. Yeah, it's a good podcast with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for being my guests, stuff like that.
Sure.
Yes. Nigga, I'm a permanent member.
You on my show, so you a guest.
Sir.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
hopefully we can, have another episode like this. You know what I'm saying? Talk to y'all, stuff like that.
No problem, bro.
It's
I'm always
it's
up for some current events.
yeah, we all have our own, what I'm saying, life schedule, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying, tuning in to my podcast.
Oh, yeah.
New
You need to
podcast.
create a soundboard.
Huh?
That's
You
what
need to create a soundboard.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the Elgato type of thing though. I gotta probably invest in one of those, you know what I'm saying?
I think so. You can make a soundboard off your computer. I
Really?
swear you can. I've definitely seen people doing it off their computer.
I never knew that. I just seen
Sometimes you
people
gotta.
get the Elgato thing and do it like that.
I definitely be seeing Joe Budden do it off his computer.
I have to look into that then. But yeah, new podcast, another talk. It's 3K TV. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, so you can be notified every time I drop another bang.
Hold on, is this getting edited?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
Definitely getting that what happened 2 minutes ago. That's definitely getting edited. 40 seconds of it.
Oh yeah,
Wait, why? What happened 2 minutes ago?
when Dad came in.
Door came open.
Yeah.
That was he was spooked, bro.
Yeah.
That was so close to not having a non-edit show.
Yeah, for real though.
Hey, at least it's at the end, brother. At least it's at the end.
Right, at least it was at the end. Man, what I was saying. Nothing else?
Like we had that set up.
Bang, good, man. You already know what's going on, man. This is 3K TV. Want to be members? No.
Oh, now you want us to be members. When I said we was members, now you like, y'all are guests. No, I want to
He
be
tried to,
member. Nigga.
bro. He has tried to close out 3 times. Let him close. He said, "Why all my edits coming at the end, bro?"
It's closed. It's closed.
Gonna be like bloopers, bro.
They already,
Yeah,
they
add 'em
already
in
know
there.
they already know the outro. It's done.
What you gonna do for the
I have
little?
people calling me too, bro. What the?
Right.
Huh?
You gonna have for the little thumbnail for the video?
No, that's a good point.
The thumbnail?
Yeah, what you gonna put?
I mean, y'all can send me some pictures and I could do a thumbnail like that, or y'all want to do a thumbnail like this.
You do a thumbnail with the some of the topics that we like talk about. Like you could put like the little Nets, something with like the Nets and the Lakers and stuff like that. And then just be like podcast episode, whatever the fuck it is. Some shit, I don't know. Creative title.
Yeah, most definitely. Probably put like a sports team in it because we talked about sports. Well, something about relationships because we talked about that. Shoes, we talked about shoes. We talk about
There you could put like something with Nike, the little Nike logo or something up there.
yeah. What else? What else we talked about? Hold on, let me
You about to go through that 2.5 hours.